Okay, this is a take two. I screwed up the first time I did this video, or well, I got about 30 seconds into it, and I called this little magnificent animal a clown. It's clearly not a clown. What we got here, this is a pastel banana leopard genetic stripe. So I accidentally called it a clown. So I actually did stop the video and restarted it. So anyway, I was hoping to see what this looks like without pastel in it, because pastel kind of actually reduces the influence of the leopard a little bit. You still get a nice, pretty vibrant, high contrasted stripe through there. But if it didn't have pastel in it, that stripe would be a little bit thicker on either side and a little bit darker too. So I have one more shot at those this year, and hopefully we'll hit on it. That's definitely one of my favorite genetic stripe combos. I love everything with leopard, and genetic stripe is just awesome, and this was not a disappointment at all. I was really, really happy with her. Yeah, and it's a female too, so guess what? She's a holdback. Okay, next one I want to show you. I'm going to do a handful of genetic stripes first, and then we've got some other stuff here as well. So this clutch I showed on Instagram and Facebook a couple weeks ago already, and we got a huge response from it. And I've been producing genetic stripe, or Orange Dream genetic stripes for several years now, and I have a few for sale too. And but for some reason, when I showed this clutch, everybody went gaga over it. So maybe I'm onto something here now. Anyway, so I got a bunch of Orange Dream or Super Orange Dream genetic stripes. And I want to see what happens when you put leopard into this as well. I really, really want to see that. So this one right here, I think this is just a lower expression Orange Dream genetic stripe. It's a little too colorful to be just a normal genetic stripe. And this is from breeding an OD genetic stripe to an OD genetic stripe. Just, you know, I would think that some of these, if not all of them, are supers. Oh, there's the phone. But then I got this one. And this one is significantly brighter than all the others. Look at the colors on that. I did hit on a Super Orange Dream genetic stripe male last year, and I held him back. So I'm going to try breeding him to the Orange Dream genetic stripes, and I've got some Orange Dream Fire genetic stripes and a few other different combos with Orange Dream in it too that I'm going to try putting him to. I don't know if there's just a, you know, some of these are just more intensely colored than others, and, you know, these are all supers, or what. I mean, I really haven't produced a lot of them over the years, but, and I've actually I have several from 2019 that I'm just still growing them up, just trying to see if they're supers or regular Orange Dreams. So this one's definitely my favorite of the clutch. This one's got to be a super too, I think. I don't know. This one just has such really nice orange colors in there. So now the big task is figuring out what other genes, other than leopard, what other genes I want to put into that to make that even more intense. Okay. Next one's here. Got a couple pieds to show you. This clutch is from a Bongo het pied bred to a pied. Here's a Bongo het pied. Another Bongo het pied. The het pied influence really busies up that pattern a lot. Here's another Bongo het pied. I believe that that's just a pied. I think that this is the Bongo Pied. I think. The hard thing is I have produced other pieds out of different clutches with a similar pattern. But, you know, given that these two are out of the same clutch, I think one of them has to be Bongo, and I would guess it's this one. I think I've got another couple clutches of these incubating yet, so I'm going to hang on to all these and wait and see what that comes out of those next clutches, and hopefully I'll know for sure. But I think that if this is what Bongo does to Pied, I think there's some really cool possibilities of adding other colors into it. You know, like a coral glow would be really nice, or you know, Enchi would probably really mess up the pattern. You know, when you mix two different or basically if you did Enchi, Bongo, and Pied together, there'd be 3 different pattern genes, and it would be interesting to see what kind of result that has on a ball python. Okay, so this is still a work in progress for these. Okay, I've got a couple more Pieds here. I'm not 100% sure what they are. These 2 were produced from breeding a GHI Pied to a Mojave Black Pastel Het Pied. I got these 2. I think this is a Mojave Pied. Usually Mojave Pieds have a little bit of a dark pattern around the border, but I don't think that could have GHI in it, or most likely not Black Pastel either. And this one I actually think is the Black Pastel Mojave Pied. You know, I've never produced a GHI Mojave Pied, but I've seen pictures of them and they seem like they're quite a bit darker than that. So I don't think I hit on the GHI Mojave Black Pastel Pied here. These are both girls, so I'm just gonna raise them up, and you know, I never hurts to have more Pied females in the mix, so I'll keep those and raise them up and see what I get out of them in the future. So stay tuned. 3 years will go by really quick until they mature. Okay. Next clutch that I want to show you is albino bamboo bred to a leopard het albino. We got an albino here. Looks a little pastel-like. I don't think there was pastel in the breeding though. Here's a really, really nice albino leopard. I wonder if my albino bamboo is an albino pastel bamboo. So now that I'm looking at these 2, they definitely look different. So these are albino leopard bamboos. If I had to guess, I'd say this is a pastel. Pastel is kind of tough in some albinos. It's really hard to tell if it's in there. This one I think is a pastel just because of the white head and the overall lighter yellow coloration. This one definitely doesn't have pastel in it, but I would say this one does and this one does not. So it's very possible that my albino bamboo breeder male is actually pastel. I didn't really breed him to too many females, so actually I think this was maybe his only clutch this year. So I won't have any more opportunities to figure it out, but I don't know. Really cool. I was actually I didn't know what to think about these guys when they first hatched before they shed, but once they shed, then the pattern started coming out a little bit, especially on this one. And I'm kind of liking that. I kind of want to see what happens when that gets bigger. You know, albinos can really change a lot as they grow, so kind of hoping to see some really cool things out of that in the future. Okay. One more clutch of albinos. This is an albino leopard bred to an albino black pastel. So I'm going for ultimate high contrast with these. Albino leopards are one of the best albinos, I think, as far as contrast, and albino black pastels probably are the cleanest, nicest looking albinos out there. This, I think, is an albino black pastel. Pretty sure that one's just an albino. I got these. I think that's an albino leopard black pastel. That one too. And this one. I mean, that's nice and high contrast with lots of white too. And hopefully the black pastel influence on those will keep the white. All of the black pastel albino breeders that I have are all very high white and bright yellow contrasted even as adults. The leopard, albino leopards tend to have some yellow bleed into the white, but the colors are still extremely vibrant in those. So hopefully the combination of leopard and black pastel together will give you a super, super deep yellow snake with very, very white contrast. Okay, I think that is it for this week. I gotta take a break. I've filmed actually 3 videos in the last hour or so. So anyway, I'm gonna take a break and actually get to work here. I gotta feed all the babies today, and I gotta set up some new breeders and all kinds of busy work. So anyway, hope you guys like that. I'll be back again very soon. I've got plenty of stuff hatching yet. Probably only I don't even think I'm halfway through my hatching season right now, so I've got lots of stuff coming yet. So stay tuned for that. Please like and subscribe if you would. And also make sure to visit my website, royalconstrictordesigns.com, to see all the goodies that I have for sale. I don't have a whole lot of time at this time of year to actually post individual snakes on the website, but I do have a complete availability list on there. You can see all the stuff as they shed, or as they hatch, shed, and I set them up. I log them all onto that list, and you can see what I've got available. And there's a lot on that list, so check it out. I'll be back again soon.